What is up? What is up? We are back in black in the building. You already know who the fuck I am. I'm your boy in the place to be, man. Clown and sucker free since 2003. Man, what is going on? Because you know you can't finesse me. Shout out to everybody at the corporate plantation right now as we speak. Making it do what it do. Got to make sure I keep the mic on. Got to making it do what it do. Shout out to everybody out there that is standing your ground mentally. Meaning this, keeping your composure, not letting these dominant white society people or any other racial group get you off your square, because you got to make your bread to take care of your head. So you know what I'm saying? You got to make your bread to take care of your overhead. So you can't let these motherfuckers get to you. You got to handle business, man. That's what it's about. Shout out to everybody that isn't at the corporate plantation, that's probably off the corporate plantation right now, tired, chilling at the crib. Man, shout out to all you that's out there. Shout out to people that goes to the corporate plantation, does they shit, and get the fuck out of there. Not the motherfuckers that want to be tell them about the gun line, Haywood Shepherd, Steven from Django, motherfucking Sambo ass motherfucker, or a mammy that just want to just be a mammy for no reason. You're not getting no stocks, no bonds, no 401k off no mammy, but motherfuckers still want to be a mammy and a Sambo. So shout out to all y'all that stay away from that type of motherfucking environment. Shout out to all my other racial groups that are trying to establish a system of racism. They're trying to get rid of the system of racism, white supremacy, and establish a system of justice within this racist system, but they're trying to establish a system of justice, which means this. If you are a part of another racial group and you're in a meeting with a whole bunch of other different racial groups, but the department head is the dominant society, and they're talking shit about a black person, and particularly a foundational black American, it is your duty, if you're trying to establish a system of justice, to go and discuss this with that black person. It's called telling us what's being said when we're not in the room. Now, black folk, don't act no goddamn fool. Yeah, man, they said that you was talking shit about me. No, that's not how you do it. Keep your composure, you respond and not react. So shout out to everybody out there that's learning how to respond and not react. Shout out to all my black businesses out there. I would say Freedom Paper Company. I would say blackandnoble.com. Shout out to Shawnee. Shawnee, I got the mess like I said before, man. You watch it when you get a chance, man. Hey, send me. I need to look. I need another book list from you. I'll be getting my books from you. Shout out to everybody out there that is supporting black businesses. If you're not supporting a black business, then don't say shit to me, man. I don't want to hear shit about shit. I'm tired of motherfuckers trying to tell niggas what they should be and shouldn't be doing. And motherfuckers want donations, want this and want that, but motherfuckers don't even want to support a black business. I haven't shown Buck Breaking yet, but I got the actual DVD right there. But I want to watch it first before I discuss it, because I want to do a whole podcast on. I know it's going to be a great DVD. It's going to be the best. I really want to stream Buck Breaking. I don't even want to open my copy because I feel like it's a collectible item. You feel me? That's how we supposed to be when it comes to black folk. We shouldn't be like treating it like shit. We supposed to be cherishing this shit. So for all y'all that's not out there, if y'all ain't got Buck Breaking, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. If y'all ain't got Hidden Colors 1 through 5 in 1804, I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Then get the fuck away from me, because you are sadly mistaken on what life is really about. So shout out to everybody that's got that. Shout out to everybody that's got a black business. If you want some natural herbs, check out myotraherbs.com. Myotraherbs. If you want some natural herbs, I'm talking about, and its prices are not expensive. And even if it is expensive, go check it out. That's the problem with niggas. Niggas want luxury from the white folk, and niggas want gully shit from the black people. So we're not willing to pay top dollar for black shit, but we're willing to pay top dollar for white shit that white people don't even care about. So shout out to Mix of Health. Shout out to Black and Noble. Right now I'm drinking me I finally got the shake, a CMOS shake. So I got that shit going on. And just took some My Outright Herbs. So shout out to that, man. Support black businesses. I've been looking at black businesses out here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So if I'm not mistaken, this weekend I'm gonna try some food from this black business. It looks good, so I'm gonna try it and let everybody know. I ain't gonna eat it on camera. Eventually, when me and Nick, we got some shit coming up, man, where we gonna start going and supporting and checking out shit. Me and Nick gonna start doing it. Hopefully we can get Dom on. Shout out to Dom too. Dom, I'm gonna call you back. Don't think I forget. I'm gonna call you back. I'm just trying to set this shit up, man. We gonna discuss a lot of things today. We gonna discuss, I don't know, Juanisha Brooks. We're gonna talk about the gas shortage. And we're also gonna talk about Carlette Duffy, or Carletta, I think it's Carlette Duffy. And the title of this podcast today is going to be Driving While Black. I understand why y'all don't think it ain't. Shit, every time you... Look, every time you leave your house, you are in danger, no matter what you think or what you say. So we're going to discuss a lot of that. And like I said again, shout out to everybody that's at the Court Plantation. Man, when you get a chance to watch it, watch it. I would suggest you watch it while you at the Court Plantation. I feel like I could connect more to people when they at the Court Plantation because you're so frustrated at being there. So when you listen to me, it gives you a little bit of comic relief. And it makes you kind of look at things differently. This is no I don't know TV type shit. Like, no, nigga, I don't know. I got that. Honestly, I don't know. I don't claim to have known nothing. I just claim to have read some books right now. Look, I was talking to one of my cousins. She was talking about, man, you need a book list. And I'm like, book list? Shit, I ain't read enough books to give y'all a book list. But I can tell you what book I was looking at right now that I'm probably going to be rereading. Just these two books I'm definitely going to be rereading because I want to be abreast on certain things. First book right here, of course, is Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson, the Honorable Dr. Claude Anderson. And the second book is the Black History Reader, 101 Questions You Never Thought to Ask. So I'm going to go back and reread those books eventually. Right now, I'm still reading A Price for a Pound of Flesh. The reason why I'm not reading them as fast as I used to, because like I got highlighters and shit, and I be taking notes. Where's my highlighter at? Here you go, right here. See, I like to go back through, even after I finish a book, I like to go back through and highlight certain things because it just keeps you abreast on what's going on. Like at the beginning of this book, you know what I mean? He talks about how he uses the term native black, but it's not on the Census Bureau. Then he talks about how Black Americans are forgotten people who remain impoverished and been Jim Crow, semi-slavery. Like he has a lot of jewels in that. So if I would suggest anything for people, man, you want to start reading, man, just after you read the book, go back and highlight some things, man. So I would say this, man. The books that I would suggest you read before I get into the subject, I would suggest you read The Burglary. This book right here, this is about J. Edgar Hoover. Very, very good book. A white woman wrote this book, but it's very, very good. Pivotal information in there. Just profound information in there. Go read that book. I would suggest you read the two books I showed, Black Labor, White Wealth, and Black History Reader. And then I would also suggest that you read The Fall of America by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I suggest you go read that book. The first couple of pages, you're going to be in your skin. You're going to want to jump out of your skin because he goes so hard. But it's a very good book, man. I suggest everybody go read it. And then I suggest you go read The ISIS Papers by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's 5. And you can interchange them. You can get that. I would suggest you go read a couple of those books. And if you can't read them all, please read The ISIS Papers by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. Very good book. Man, we about to get into it, man. Right now. Hey. Cut this shit down. Man. I know y'all saw them gas shortages today. The motherfuckers the motherfuckers hacked that shit. It was before I get on anything, it was what was that movie? I think it was Live Free and Die Hard with Demi Moore's husband, Bruce Willis. And the dude that was in there, he like hacked all of Washington, D.C. Like he hacked into the central camera system, the security system, the police system. He hacked into the natural gas system, the pipeline system, because everything was based off grids and internet. This was like 2007, 2008. And they could do, he had control of everything. And what's so funny is it's coming to fruition right now. And what I think is so crazy is I think that, to me, that's the unseen hand. They know what they want to do. They want to create look, if they can't get niggas with that vax, then they gonna get niggas with gas shortages and food shortages. I'm telling you, if you're on the West Coast, they're gonna get you with the food shortages and the TP, the toilet paper, and the natural resources. Oh, they're coming, just like Dr. Claude Anderson talks about how it's gonna be food shortages, and that shit is real, man. They're gonna do whatever they can to crash this fucking dollar to the ground, and they can start all over again. Just like in the Matrix. What did the architect say? rebuilt this system 6 times. You are the 6th one of the one. What do you mean? And then they get mad, they get frustrated, and we have to tear it down, rebuild it all over again. Y'all got to go watch The Matrix 1, 2, and 3. Very, very good. So I just thought that was crazy to see that. I was kind of like, not laughing, but I was like, damn, man, how you going to hack the gas line? Yeah, because everything is based off of a computer system. Doesn't that sound like The Matrix to you? This ain't manual like in the 70s and the 60s, the 40s, 50s, where a nigga got to manually go out and cut the gas off and manually do this. Now they could just be like, no more gas for you. That's how they do Nevada Power. That's how they do Southwest Gas out here. Straight up. They went from having a manual reader where you have to read it manually to like, oh, we're going to replace all the meters with digital readers so we can just scan it. We know what you're doing. Plus, we can cut your power off from the office. We don't need to come out there and cut your shit off. Like back in the day, they had to come and cut your shit off. Now they just press one button. Okay, no more power for you. In the dark. Straight up. So y'all better be looking out for that, especially black folk. Because black folk, we like to wait to the last minute to handle shit a lot of times. We be bullshitting and kicking it and fucking and smoking and drinking and fucking some more and drink some E40 wine and fucking some more. Because, you know, E40 wine put you in the mood to get in your groove. So I know what we like to do. Then we want to go to church, and then after we done prayed, and and then all this other bullshit. Then after we get praying the Cesare, then we go get us some E40 wine, preferably some mango scotto. Get us a little blunt, some little weed. That's what y'all doing out there. Shit, I know that's exactly what y'all doing. Then you want to sit up and watch a little Netflix and chill, and then before you know it, you're fucking. You ain't even worried about the natural gas and none of the shit that's going on. So pay attention, motherfucker. Niggas always, we be the last ones to the party. We last ones to everything. But we the first ones to defend everybody else. As soon as they say Asian hate, here come niggas. Man, y'all gotta leave the Asian people alone, man. For real. While a bunch of your people is getting assassinated on camera, you ain't worried about them. You worried about the Asians. You worried about everybody else, every other racial group. So we need to start paying attention to this shit and take stock and inventory of what the fuck is going on and move accordingly. Straight up. Man, look, man, this subject was popping, but I wasn't really paying attention to it as much. Shout out to my boy, Nick. Nick put me on to the story, man. He had sent it to me, and it really, it kind of raised raised my eyebrow because I'm like, I saw somebody tweet about it on Twitter, but I didn't really get a chance. There was so much going on, so I didn't really get a chance to, but he ended up texting it to me. When he texted to me, I was like, oh, okay. Let me read this shit. So, I think Juanisha Brooks is what her name is. If I'm not mistaken, she worked for the government. If I'm not mistaken. So she worked for the government. So if I'm not mistaken, let me see if I can find some. I think I had some audio, but I'm not sure. She got pulled over by some police in Virginia. See, let me tell you something. The DMV, that's District of Columbia, I think Virginia, and Maryland. If I'm not mistaken, that's what the DMV is. I'm not really an East Coast person. You know, the farthest I traveled to was Arkansas, and let me tell you, that was the worst trip ever. All I did was listen to the whinings the whole time. That's all we did. So I never been to the District of Columbia. I would like to go. You know what I'm saying? And travel and see how it is out there. But if I'm not mistaken, I think the DMV is District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's like a tri-state area. I think they all touch, just like Connecticut, New York, and New Jersey connect, or one of them states connect. That's why they call it the tri-state area. So this sister was, out of the Virginia police. They stopped her. Isn't that the same police, or in that state, the same police that pulled over that Latino African brother, that black brother? He was black and Latino, and he was a sergeant, and they was pepper spraying his face, and just he's like, bro, I got a dog in the back. And then they try to make amends at the end. Yeah. So I don't understand why this shit don't shock me. But I'm about to play some audio, and we about to see exactly what they talking about. Okay, here we go. Now this is the police officer.
What's on the route 28? 809.
That's right, second time.
1059.
626 over Officer 88.
1688.
And what you hear right now is the police calling it in. And she did exactly what she said. She pulled over.
10-4.
So that's what y'all hearing now. Because you know they like to make it extra.
Looks like he's finally stopped on Oakwood Drive.
Hello.
Can I see your driver's license, vehicle registration, please?
Sure. Why? What made you pull me over?
Can you step out here? I'll show you.
Why am I stepping out the car?
Okay.
I'll show you what's wrong with your car.
You can tell me.
See, this sister was on point though. Like, okay, well, why did you pull me over and what did I do? You know what I mean? Like, what am I doing? And I get it. I wouldn't suggest you do that unless you got these police officers on camera because they gonna lie. These are race soldiers. They out there to kill. They can't wait to pull a nigga over. They don't care if they being recorded. They just delete the shit. They've been doing it the whole time anyway. So it doesn't even matter.
In here?
Huh?
I said you can tell me from in here. I don't really want to step outside my car.
Okay, I need you to step out of the car. Need you to step out of the car?
For what?
Because I need you to step out of the car because you took off from me on a traffic stop.
I didn't realize. I thought you were.
Are you not going to step out of the car?
No, I thought you were emergency. I thought you were like a.
Can you take your seatbelt off for me, please, ma'am?
I thought you were a. What's it called? I thought you were an ambulance or something. That's why I was trying to get out of the way at first. I didn't.
And if you can see the video, she did. She pulled over. They were gonna pass by, cause there were cars in front of her that pulled over as well. So it wasn't just her. She wasn't lying.
Okay, can you step out of the car again for me, please? I'm asking you a second time.
You call my sister.
Ma'am, I need you to step out of the car.
My question is, why do you need people to step out of the car? If she ran from a traffic stop, why didn't you just write her a ticket for whatever you thought she was doing and going about your way? It's real criminals out here doing real shit. But you want to be harassing somebody to step out the car. You know why? Because they have emboldened these race soldiers under the garb and the guise of police officers and law enforcement to just do whatever you want to do. Just do what you want to do. So you're going to take all this time to be arguing with a woman to get out of a car when you got people running up in stores, killing people. That's what you got. People going to work and going postal. But you worried about a traffic stop. This is what I don't understand. It's almost like Don't Be a Menace to South Central when they was in the liquor store buying their stuff and they had real money. The Asian Americans, hurry up and buy, while the white boy was stealing everything. That's what it reminds me of. It's like all this chaos and shit going on, but you want to be arguing with a woman over a traffic stop? If you felt like she was under the influence and all this other stuff, and you felt like it was going to be a problem, then why didn't you just write her a ticket? I would have just been like, well, I'm going to give you a DI because you refused to do the blood test, and then they can figure it out. You can figure it out in court. I'm not about to argue with you. But to me, I feel like they want it to be a problem so they could justify the killings. That's what I feel like. And that is no fucking lie. That's exactly what I feel like.
I'm not having a panic attack. I don't want to step out.
And she says she's having a panic attack. And that's what I'm talking about, sister. Victim mode. You are a victim of racism, white supremacy. That's what you do. Since they want to do this whole mental. Now, let's see how this mental health play out. Because white folk want mental health. Oh, like that guy, that white man that was being rude to that brother at the damn Motel 6 or whatever, or where the Quality Inn, wherever the fuck he was working at. He had a mental breakdown, started hitting the damn computer and shit. They talk about, oh, he's slow. He got a mental problem. A mental problem. So now we want to see if this works for this sister because her life is really in danger. Nothing was wrong with that white man that had a panic attack at the goddamn register because he fucked something up and the black dude was holding him accountable. So he started banging on the computer and acting a goddamn fool and had a nervous breakdown. They talking about, oh, he had a panic attack. So now that this sister is really in danger, that white boy wasn't even in danger. This sister is really in danger, and watch, they still finna act a fool.
Ma'am, I'm asking you nicely to step out of the car, please. You're being visually and audibly recorded for protection. The subject's refusing to get out of the car. Ma'am, do I have to remove you from the car?
Please don't do that. I work for the Department of Defense. I don't want you to.
Ma'am, step out of the car.
See, so you can clearly hear in her voice she's nervous and she's scared. Now, when you called in and said she refuses to get out of the car and she says she's having a mental breakdown, why didn't y'all call the crisis center? Why didn't y'all say, okay, well, we need to get somebody else out here because maybe she's having race soldier syndrome. What's race soldier syndrome? Race soldier syndrome is this. When you get pulled over by a race soldier, you tend to have a nervous breakdown and a mental breakdown when you are black in the system of racism, white supremacy. That's race soldier syndrome. That's what it means. You get nervous, sweaty palms, you sweating, you crying, you're discombobulated. That's what that means, which means it should be a crisis advocate that will come out and assist you. Period. That's what it should be. It should be, okay, this person refused to get out of the car. They're saying that they're having a mental breakdown. Could we send somebody out here? Here, man, I'm going to just, you know what? We're just going to wait here till somebody else comes out, and then we're going to go on about our way. But no, am I going to have to get... See, just because a police officer is talking to you normally, a race soldier is calm, that doesn't mean that he's not a racist. There's a whole bunch of those that's at the corporate plantation all day, every day, that have these wonderful conversations about foundational black Americans every time we're not around with other racial groups who participate in those conversations because they think they're going to get something.
Step out of the car. Step out of the car, ma'am.
What are you doing?
This car park.
Please stop.
Step out.
Please stop. What are you doing?
Step out. Step out.
What did I do?
Step out. Step out.
What are you doing?
Don't grab me. Don't grab me.
I'm not grabbing you. Are you kidding? Give me my phone back.
Stop.
What are you doing?
Stop.
Stop. Y'all listen to that?
Stop.
Now, clearly, this sister's distraught. Clearly, she's having a mental health breakdown. Like I've said. See? It's okay for white folk to have a mental breakdown, but black folk, you're a nigger. What do you mean mental breakdown? That doesn't even register because you're a nigger. Niggers don't have mental breakdowns. Niggers built this country in the worst, harshest conditions ever. So, no, you're a nigger. You don't have mental breakdowns. You can't get a mental breakdown because you're a nigger. So that's how they feel. That's why they treat you the way they treat you. But white people, we have mental breakdowns all the time. You know, we're the chosen people. You know, we're the ones who made you guys build this country. You know how stressful it was for us to breed black people and niggers and make them fuck each other and rape them and castrate them and make them build this country? That was stressful for white folk. That's how they really feel.
Stop.
What are you doing?
Stop.
Oh my God, you're hurting me. Get off.
Stop.
Get off. Get off of me. Give me my phone back.
And that's the first thing they're going to do is take your phone. I don't even know why. That's the first thing. Hey, what's going on, Shawnee? I see you. Shout out to Shawnee, man. When y'all hear me talking, I'll be talking to the chat. It's almost like talking to people you done know because, you know, when people put you on game, I'm always show respect and reverence to people like that. Hey, Shawnee, man, you got to give me a book list. My cousin was hitting me up for a book list on I forgot that social media, IG, and I was like, I don't know. I gotta holler at the homegirl. I didn't even think about no book list because she was asking me about the Book of Enoch. I'm like, well, Shawnee put me onto the Book of Enoch. Look, I'm talking to my cousin like she knew you. I'm like, I didn't even know about that book. So, you know what I'm saying? You gotta help me with a book list. We're gonna have to come up with a book list. But anyway, man, let's see what else happens during this traffic stop. I just want y'all to listen.
What are you doing? Ma'am, what is happening?
You're being detained
I
right
don't
now.
have any. What, you're not reading me my rights. You're not saying anything. Why are you
See? You see? That sister has some sense, though, because she said, you're not even reading me my rights. How you going to tell me you're being detained after you done already put the handcuffs on me? That's not what they're supposed to do. That's reasonable suspicion. And a lot of these police, they have qualified immunity. Not a lot, all of them. So they use the qualified immunity. I fear for my life. That's the number one thing. How many black police officers do you hear talking about, I fear for my life? The last one that I've heard say he feared for his life was Mohammed Noor. And he shot and killed an Australian white woman. And guess what? He's doing 12 years in prison. And that white woman's family got $25 million. $25 million. How that's more than what Eric Gardner got, Philando Castile got, Mike Brown got. You can total them all up. That didn't add up to no 25 million. They got that one with 25 million and guilty, nigga. Sorry, nigga. I bet you that. Oh, I'm not black. I'm Jamaican. I'm Ethiopian. That shit didn't work. They like, well, nigga, you black in our eyes because you're not us.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
You took off from me after you stopped.
Because I thought you were like an ambulance or something.
So you pulled back out in front of me. You pulled back in front of me. Do you have an ID on you?
I was on the highway. I've never gotten pulled over on the highway before.
Do you have your driver's license?
Car.
Don't stand here. Don't move.
The Department of Defense for your intelligence community. Like, what are you doing? Stay right here. What are you doing? I'll report you to the general.
Everything's being real.
Like, are you serious?
Can you hold her?
I have no
Hold her arm.
charges ever in my life.
And see, that's music to their ears because they want you to be discombobulated. And I get it. You're scared. That is scary. You're getting pulled over at night. If you're dealing with a race soldier who potentially is a suspected white supremacist, probably most likely a white supremacist, and probably want to kill you with impunity. Because let me tell you something. Any person of any other racial background or group or whatever it is, when you pull over black people, if you're confident, you don't even give a fuck about that shit. You're going to be like, why you pull out there? Why you do that? Oh, because I didn't know. Okay, all right. Well, have you been drinking? What's going on? Where are you headed at? Are you going somewhere? Okay, well, you need to pay attention because I was putting my siren on you. Okay? All right, so I'm going to give you this ticket, such, and that's it. Now you going about your way. That's a confident person. But when you dealing with people that are not confident and they don't like black folk, oh man, you fucked.
Okay, that's being recorded, everything you've done. Number one, you don't have any taillights on your vehicle. Number two,
Then why didn't you say you ain't got no taillights on your vehicle? Why didn't you just say that? Hey, man, your taillights are not working. That's why I pulled you over. What you doing? That's what I'd have done. But you're talking about confident versus non-confident. That's the problem. A lot of these people, a lot of these racial groups, they join law enforcement so they can abuse their authority because a lot of them are corny, dweeb, goofy motherfuckers who didn't have no friends in high school. They weren't popular. They probably couldn't get no women. And if they're a woman, they probably couldn't get no man. If they were, they probably was a hoe. And now they want to redeem themselves by thinking that they doing something good in life. And they can't wait to get together with their other racist homeboys and homegirls so they can talk about how they kill niggas and how niggas ain't shit. Because that's the type of conversation that go on. I'm almost 99%, 9999999.12999.99999% sure those are the type of conversations that are had about black folk, especially foundational black. If you're a foundational black American, oh, definitely. See, they'll hang out with you and they'll be cool with you. Start talking about reparations. Start talking about where you become equal to them. Oh, them motherfuckers will get to acting like Jane Elliott in a minute. Remember that.
following two cars at about 55 miles per hour, 2 car lengths off of them. Number 3, you pulled over and then took off again. You failed to yield to my vehicle. I asked you to step out of the car so you wouldn't take off again. You refused to get out of the car. I had to pull you out of the car.
You pulled me out. You didn't even give me enough time to get out of the car, and I was afraid. I've never been pulled over by the cops like this or handcuffed. I pulled back because I didn't know you were pulling me over on the highway. I've never been pulled over on the highway like that. First, I thought it was an emergency vehicle, so I'm trying to figure out what to do. Do I get over on this side?
See, this sister's very coherent and knows exactly what she's talking about. Because I think they tried to say that they wanted to give her a DWI, and thought, but her blood her alcohol level in the blood was 0.0. So then what did you do all that for? Stop, man. Oh man, let's keep listening.
And then I get over, and then the other car in front of me got over too, and then they went back.
Didn't I tell you that there were cars that pulled over just like her? And when they pulled off, she pulled off too. I would have done the same thing. If you don't know who's behind you, like you don't know them lights are bright. You don't know that.
I didn't know. Usually if you're getting pulled over, I thought it would be some announcement. I didn't know that I was being pulled over. And that's why I got off the highway. Was I supposed to stop?
Why are
in
your
the
eyes
middle
so
of the
watery when I pulled up?
Why are my eyes watering?
Yeah.
Because people have been shot by the police. I'm freaking nervous.
What the hell does, who asked a question? Didn't I tell y'all before when I was hanging out with my white Jewish homeboy 20 years ago when he was taking me back to the west side of Las Vegas? The motherfucker asked him why was your pupils dilated? He was looking at them like, man, because I got a prescription. And I'm just thinking the whole time, because I know what he was thinking. He was thinking that I sold him the drugs and he was taking me home. That's what he thought. I know that's what that police officer thought. He thought I sold him the drugs and that's why his eyes was dilated, not knowing that he was going through withdrawals too, because they had him on Ritalin and all kinds of shit. And he said, man, that shit is fucked up, man. You know, that's what they try to give kids too. When they hyperactive and all that, they want to give you Ritalin that's supposed to help you focus. Man, that's like taking crack. Fuck that. And then he kind of checked the police officer. He's white, so he could talk to police officers. He's like, hey, man, first of all, that ain't none of your business. Second of all, man, I got a prescription. Third, man, why you asking us all these questions that don't matter? What you think we drug dealer? He was going in on that motherfucker. I had to tell him, man, be quiet, bro, because I'm trying to go home.
But I thought you said you thought it was an ambulance.
After you came, that's why when you pulled me over.
See, the only thing is that sister should have just shut up. Okay, well, just do what you gonna do. Because I'm not finna talk no more. Because I'm not finna give you no more energy. And I'm not gonna give you nothing else so you can make it seem like I'm belligerent and drunk on camera. That's why he was all calm, because he was trying to get her to come out the bag. That's one of their techniques. That same technique that you are listening to right now is what they do at the corporate plantation. They get you in a situation and then they talk real calmly so you can respond all belligerently and basically give them a reaction and not a response. And then they got you after that. Facts.
Realize now, but when I was on the highway, it looked as though it was an ambulance. All I saw was red lights. I did not know what it was.
Okay.
No one said pull over. No one said step. Like, if you would have said pull over, I would have known you were the police.
Okay.
I've never gotten pulled over.
See, I give this sister a lot of props because she kept it together, but my suggestion when you are dealing with law enforcement, a.k.a. race soldiers, don't give them no more information. It's just like the corporate plantation. No, this is what's going on, that's it. Because why? They just want to be nosy. They just want to see how much talking you going to do. They just want to see how rattled. They get a pleasure out of that. I've seen it. They try to do it to me at the corporate plantation until I started reading. Once I started reading, like Black Labor, White Wealth, once I started reading, like I read this book, The Powers of Your Subconscious Mind. And when I read that book, I just kind of was like, damn, it was a lot of tidbits and jewels and gems in that book. And I was just like, you know what? Next time a motherfucker try to get me in a position like this, because you find yourself explaining to them because they're the dominant society. So my thing is, once I've read enough books, I've had this mentality like, well, why do you think you're the moral compass of who I am? You know what I'm saying? Because I always tell y'all this, who's holding the accountable? Remember that. When you're at your corporate plantation, when you're dealing with law enforcement, who's holding them accountable? The same people that look like them. So when you at the corporate plantation, you like, oh, I'm going to go to human resources. Go ahead. Those are white folk that's judging other white people. Stop. You can literally catch a motherfucker on camera calling you nigga, nigga, nigga. They gonna still be like, oh, he's got diabetes. His A1C blood sugar was too high. That bullshit.
Like this, I don't know what to do on the highway.
Okay, when's the last time you had something to drink?
When's the last time? Probably like 2 hours ago.
Okay.
See? And they got her right there. Man, I remember one time I got pulled over. This was years ago. I got pulled over. The motherfucker pulled me over, and I was like, "Hi." I was like, "Hello." He was like, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" I was like, "No. Why did you?" "Oh, well, you were going over the speed limit." "Okay." And he was just like, "Okay, have you had anything to drink?" No, I ain't had nothing to drink. I don't care if I did. I don't care if I drank 10. No, I ain't had nothing to drink. Nope. Because you could be like, oh, I had a couple of beers about 6-7 hours ago. Now they got it. Now they got you. Okay, well, would you mind consenting to a field sobriety test? Nah. No, I have not been drinking. So where you headed? Home. And just look at him. This was the quickest traffic stop ever. I was like, home. Is that why you're driving so fast? If that's what you say, And I hadn't even really been reading like that, but if that's what you say. Okay, so where were you coming from? From my mom's house. Where did you live? I said, well, why does that matter? Well, I'm just trying to get a sense of why you drive. I'm driving fast because I need to get home because I have to go to work early in the morning. Oh, okay. So you haven't had nothing to drink? No, I have not had anything to drink. So then he went back, came back, made sure that I had insurance and everything. I mean, made sure the car was registered and everything. All he was doing was checking to see if I had warrants. Once there was no warrants, or I'll give you a ticket, and I tried to. All right, man, are we good? All right, wait till my license, no problem, and drove the fuck off. Man, get the fuck out of here. I'm not finna give you no more information than what you need. Facts.
How much did you have to drink?
Just one regular cocktail.
Okay. You know what time you had?
See, I'm playing y'all this so y'all can understand. Now you're going down the rabbit hole. That's why you don't tell them nothing. Nope. Nah. And if they test, I think she probably was forthcoming because she's like, ooh, what if that's still in my system? No. If you had one cocktail hours ago, that ain't in your system, you good. You good. But see, you try to be right and do the right thing and get there. But these are race soldiers. They're out there to kill black folk. And I'm pretty sure the only reason why they did that, because I think they wanted to make an example out of this sister to show this is how belligerent black folk act when we're trying to be nice. Because most police officers would have beat the shit out of her. But I think what he was doing was going out of his way to be nice so she could become more belligerent so they can say, see, I'm a police officer doing my job and I'm not even racist and look at how she acted. That bullshit.
It was 2 hours ago.
Okay, you know what time it is now?
See? The first thing I'm going to say, well, are you an attorney? That's why when that dude was like, where you come from? I'm like, from my mom's house. Well, I'm like, well, why does that matter? And he was like, oh, well, do you have your license? I was like, yeah, I got my license registration. I gave it to you already. And he was like, I forgot to say that. He was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll be right back. Yeah, man, get the fuck out of here with the bullshit, bro. Man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying every stop. I remember one time, I got stopped by the police, like I said, and it was an Asian woman, and she straight out told me. She was confident, and she wasn't on no bullshit. And I'm not making them excuses saying that they good, but as soon as she pulled me over, she was just like, could I have your license and registration and insurance? And boom. And she said, look, the reason why I pulled you over because you came speeding out of that community crazy, and we getting a lot of calls about a lot of stolen cars. And I saw the plate was in the front window, so that's why I pulled you over. Man, I had beer and everything in my car. And she looked and she was like, well, I hope you ain't drinking. This is exactly what she said. Like, it was like, well, you're not drinking that, are you? And I was like, nah, man. And at the time, it was funny. I was going to my mom's house. It was like 2009. I was going to my mom's house. I was like, no, I'm just heading to my mom's house because I'm late. I just got off work. She was just like, oh, okay. Went back. Not even, probably checked to see if I had warrants, to check to see if it was me. Man, 30 seconds later, that woman gave my shit back and was like, hey, man, slow down and have a good night. Man, and I didn't even think nothing of it at the time because at the time, it wasn't as prevalent as it is now of how they killing us. We didn't really see it like how we see it now. So I didn't really think nothing at the time. But now, thinking retrospect, it's like, man, she wasn't even giving a fuck because a lot of those police officers, they really looking, a lot of them police officers want to be FBI agents and CIA agents. So if you ain't really worth pulling over, they'll keep that and let you go. Because I've been pulled over by police before and they be like, man, me and friends, what are you doing? Oh, man, we just trying to kick it. Man, y'all need to go home. Here's your license. You need to go home, man. I've been pulled over like that because them motherfuckers looking for the real criminals. But these people, they just wanted to make an example out of this lady.
It's around 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock.
Okay. All right. Would you have any problem doing some sobriety tests to be sure you're okay to drive?
No, I don't want to take a sobriety
Okay.
test.
All right. Would you be willing to take a preliminary breath test?
No.
Okay.
376.
Okay. Walk with me, please, ma'am.
What's happening?
We got to go down and take a test. I'll read all that information to you just momentarily.
Am I arrested?
You're under arrest right now for driving under the influence and failing to yield for me.
And then, see, this is why I'm playing it for you. See, she did all that talking, thinking that they was going. All they was doing was building the case on her. She should have just been like, no, and then just take me to the shop. And then when we go to the police station and I blow woo woo woo, now guess what? Now I'm gonna put y'all on blast for what y'all did. Cause there ain't no need of you out there arguing with them, man. They don't give a fuck about that. They just building a case on you.
Go back and there is no driving under the influence, which isn't. Then I won't be under.
You'll be issued the summons for the traffic offenses, and the magistrate will make the determination from there.
Wow. I just wanted to play that for y'all so y'all can hear that shit. That's crazy, ain't it? Hey, what's going on, Tommy? I see you. Facts. They act like they looking for cracking weapons. 066, man, come on, my G. Bro, am I lying? Like, I used to always be like I remember one time, it was me, my peoples, R.I.P. to Keon. We was coming from a wedding or something. And I told the story before, you know, we was on the 10 freeway, and we was coming back from LA. And the panel lights in my 89 Ford Tours that my auntie and them had gave me, well, they didn't even say he stopped. Wait, didn't he say what he stopped her for? Yeah, for the lights. That's what he said. Exactly. He said for the lights. He was just making up shit. Because her lights was actually working. He was just making up shit. But he didn't say it in the beginning because what they try to do is they think they're lawyers. They don't know the law. They just know policies. They know their codes. They don't know the fucking law. If that's the case, then they would be judge and jury. They would be the lawyers too. They'd give you the ticket and then they'd be prosecuting you in the courtroom. No, they just uphold the policies, which is under the guidelines of the law. Cause I'm telling you, I remember one time me and Keon got pulled over, RIP to my nigga. We had food, you know us, blackvote, man. We had food in there. We had took plates home. We had the little aluminum foil around the plates. You could smell the food. We was dressed up. So, but the indoor panel lights, I couldn't really see. So I couldn't really, I could see how fast I was going, but it's old dial. It wasn't no digital shit like how shit is kind of now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh man, shit, my panel light's not working. It like cut off. It's like, what the fuck is going on? So I'm like swerving a little bit. I'm trying to fix it. So boop, cop get behind me. Whoop. So I'm like, man, Keon, you got your seatbelt? I'll never forget this. He's like, yeah. So boom, we pull over. They pull us over. They got the lights. They walk up. One cop on one side, one cop on the other. You can smell the food though. Soon as we open it, you can smell it. You know, we had chicken, green beans, mashed potato, macaroni and cheese. We had all kinds of food. We had like 2 or 3 plates apiece. I'm like, nigga, we gonna grow when we get to the crib. So then he pull us over. Long story short, short story long. The nigga pull us over and like, man, the first thing he said was, hey man, the reason why I pulled you over, man, because you was swerving on the freeway. And I'm like, oh man, my bad, man. I was trying to fix my panel lights inside the car. He was like, oh, okay. He was like, man, where y'all coming from, man? And I was like, oh man, we coming from a wedding. and the partner was like, yeah, y'all come from somewhere because it smelled like y'all got a whole bunch of food. And then they saw the food and I was like, yeah, man. And he was just like, okay, well, look, man, just pay attention, man. I know you got to fix your lights or whatever, but just pay attention, man. I don't want you to hurt yourself or hurt anybody else. I said, okay. That traffic stop was 30 seconds. 30 motherfucking seconds. So don't tell me that it just depends on who the law enforcement is, how much confidence he has, and is he trying to be a goddamn senior deckhand type motherfucker that's going to try to, play deputy dog cop, or he going to be a motherfucker that's like, I'm here to really protect and serve. So if you ain't on no bullshit, then I ain't fucking with you. To me, I'm not saying let crimes go, but to me, you're going to pull this sister out the car for allegedly driving under the influence, and now she blew a .0000 nothing. So now you just look even more racist. 1, 2, why there's real crimes going on out there. You got the Dylan Roofs of the world walking in churches and straight killing black folk. You got people going postal and going on the jobs and just straight killing fucking people. But you want to be fucking playing private detective, pet detective at a traffic stop. It's like, man, this is where our taxes is going. Oh, you was thinking the same thing? Don't tell me they threw y'all food away. Nah, man, they didn't throw our food away. They didn't even throw it. 066. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. That's why I've had bad experiences where a cop done followed me for fucking 2 miles to try to get me on some bullshit to figure out how they was gonna try to pull me over. And then I've had cops that's like, man, I don't got time to be bothered with that shit. And those were just the cops. It was 2 of them. It was 2 white cops. I mean, white cops with the little mustaches and everything. And here I'm thinking like, damn, the whole time I'm thinking, well, I'm probably gonna get a ticket. So fuck it. If I get a ticket, I'll just get a ticket and I'll figure it out then. Them motherfuckers was like, hey man, just make sure this is a true story. Hey man, just make sure you don't hurt nobody else. If for anybody that lived in California, Los Angeles, California, it was right by Cal State Fullerton off the 10 freeway. Right over there. It was right the fuck over there. And I got pulled over. Boop, they had the lights on. And they didn't take long coming to the car either. They didn't have the lights on us and called 10 cars. No, it was 2 motherfuckers that came. They kind of walked up. One didn't even have his hand on his gun. One white dude, he just walked the fuck up on us. And I think it was the dude that came to my window. The other dude had his gun. The other dude just walked up on us. It was like, man, you know why I pulled you over? I'm like, nah. He's like, man, you was swerving. You was swerving in the middle of the lane. I'm like, man, I'm trying to fix my panel lights. He was like, oh, okay. Where y'all coming from? I know they smelled the food because it was strong in a motherfucker and we was dressed up. So maybe that helped. And I said, we was coming from wet. And he said, okay, well, yeah, man, we smell the food. And I said, yeah, man. And I think I even, and Keon was laughing because he was like, man, you trying to fix the panel lights, you about to get us all fucked up. And I was like, man, just be careful. And the other dude, I remember once he came on Keon's side, he looked in the car because they had the flashlights still all in the car. They saw all the plates. They didn't, nothing. They was just like, all right, man, have a good night, man. Be careful. And don't hurt nobody else and don't hurt yourself. And that was it. That was it. It was literally 30 seconds. Literally. Because I had my license and my insurance. And then he just looked at my license. He didn't even look at the insurance. And maybe it helped that we was, we had church clothes on, whatever, man. But they was probably out there looking for real shit. That's what I think. They was probably out there looking, now we about to get some niggas, some real, where the real motherfuckers at? Because to me, I feel like there's people out there like, nah, man, I'm trying to catch a big fish. Man, I ain't got time to be fucking bothered with you. Y'all not even doing shit. And that's what I feel like how they're supposed to be protecting and serving. Where the police officers that's looking for the real crime? Why y'all not preventing that? But you sitting up here harassing a sister because you under the suspicion that you think she been drinking? And then the moral compass, do y'all know how many law enforcement race soldiers are getting fired and getting moved around for raping women, abusing their authority, doing all kinds of racist shit? So I don't understand why they're the moral compass of who the fuck we are anyways, just like the Core Plantation. Don't ever put nothing past these people. I didn't have this dumb mentality in my mind like, oh man, police officers is cool. No, I never had that mentality. Ever. You have to watch Eliminate All the Brutes. I saw it. Shawnee, I saw Eliminate All the Brutes. I don't think it was bad. What I thought, I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Not a couple of weeks ago, about a week ago. I watched both of them. Here's the things that I didn't like about it. And you probably gonna agree with me. I just feel like they didn't take enough time to explain about the Moors. And I felt like they didn't take enough time explaining how we built this country and what we are responsible for in this world. I felt like there was a lot of jumping around, especially when they were talking about the Black Seminoles. Then they scalped that one Indian, then they jumped to something else, and they started talking about, and let me tell you why, Shawnee. The reason why I'm saying I felt like they didn't do us any justice, the reason why is because, Shawnee, how long, I literally counted and timed it. They spent at least 20 to 30 minutes on the white Jewish Holocaust. And I was like, see, this is the shit that I'm talking about. Now, it had the potential to be a great documentary, but he didn't spend hardly no time on the Moors, hardly no time on foundational Black Americans building this country. None of that shit. it reminded me of high school. You go to high school, they want to teach you U.S. history, but they don't teach you about slavery. They just teach you about Andrew Jackson and Thomas Jefferson and George Washington and all these dominant white society motherfuckers creating laws to keep black folk behind the line while they raping our women and castrating our men. That type of shit. Like, they don't talk about that in U.S. history. They talk about W.E.B. Du Bois and Booker T. Washington and Harriet Tubman and Martin Luther King, and that's all about it. You don't know about Denmark Vesey or Nat Turner, and they're not going to tell you about none of that shit. Because they feel like Nat Turner is he committed treason against the country or some shit. Especially John Brown. That's why they don't tell you about John Brown. They don't want white folk to know about John Brown. They want white folk to believe in this. Any black person that rebelled against slavery, they were bad for our country. But we was good enough to go fight in a war that didn't have shit to do with us. That's the type of shit that I didn't like about that documentary, because I felt like you had that big stage, and plus then his voice, the way he was explaining it, and it was just like, okay, now this part, I ignored that part to get to the meat. I wanted to get to the facts. But man, when that man started talking about the Jewish Holocaust, I'm like, here we go with this shit again. And you skip over slavery a little bit. Then you skip over the Moors like they didn't even exist. Then you start talking about Christopher Columbus, but then you're not talking about how the Moors brought them over to America. And it was just so many things that's left out. It was hard for me to watch. So by the time I got to the second one, I just was like, no wonder they put this on there. You know what I'm saying? Just like that new show, that comedy show on HBO, how they kind of poking fun, or I guess they call themselves making fun of the conscious woke community, and they want to, say shit about Tariq Nasheed. Let me tell you something about these people, man. These people that do that, those are the Sambo, Mammy, Coon, telling about the gun line, Hayward Shepherds of the world. Those are the coons that Mac and Dahl was like, oh, we got to get rid of them first. Because they're going to impede on our progress. First of all, Gabrielle Union aided a kid for some sort of reason, thinking that it was okay to be like, oh, okay, well, I'm a woman now. I don't want to be a woman. That's not even your son. That's not even your child. And she didn't have a right to even assist or do that. That shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you see Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade everywhere, in my personal opinion. Because once you start talking about that LGBTQ shit, then you all good. Because that's what runs Hollywood, besides being a white Jewish person. So it's like, damn. But you going to give all your energy to making fun of a woke movement. That's because to me, that's because she's broke on the inside, mentally, physically, all of that. And they don't want to go back to having to really deal with their people. It was black folk that kept Gabrielle Union alive. Gabrielle Union ain't been no class A actor. This bitch ain't been in no major Hollywood movies like that, except Bad Boys. No, she's been in a lot of black films. But now you have access to real money, so now you want to go ahead and poke fun at our black abolitionists that's really making movement and really, I would say, being the example for the younger generation. Anti-woke. A lot of the athletes see the same. Exactly. So that's why I say that, man. And the reason why I say this is, too, because I want to talk about this, too, before I get out of here, man. I really want to talk about this, too. There was a lady that wanted to sell her house. This is what I mean about, this is what we deal with when we black. There was a lady that wanted to sell her house. I think it was Carlette Duffy. She wanted to sell her house, I think out of Indiana, which I think that's where the KKK started, if I'm not mistaken. Somewhere over there. And she had to basically get a white woman to list the house because motherfuckers wasn't offering her what she paid for the motherfucking crib. And when a white person acted like it was their house, she got like $100,000 more. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this real quick. I want y'all to hear this before I get out of here. Hold on. Hold on. Damn, what the fuck? Now I don't want to play the audio. Hold on. I'm gonna get the audio though. I'm gonna definitely get the audio. Hold on. Cause I want y'all to hear this. Cause a lot of times you find the audio and then all of a sudden they snag it. And man, when I saw this, I was like, damn. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Let me find. I'm gonna find the audio. All right, hold on. It's just loading up right now. You know, motherfucker act like we got dial up all of a sudden. If not, I'm gonna still talk about it because now all of a sudden it don't want to play. This shit always do this. For real. Then all of a sudden it be taking all day. Because I really wanted y'all to hear this shit because this is what be going on. All right, here we go.
Americans don't like liars and
Nah, there we go. All right, here we go. Let's see. I really want y'all to hear this before I get out of here. I know I'm over time, but I really want y'all to hear this. Let's see if they done with the commercial. No, they're still playing the commercial. They talking about it while they playing. I want y'all to hear this before I get up out of here because I think it's very imperative that people know. Because a lot of people think redlining and gentrification, all this is some made up shit that black people was pissed off about, so they just threw it in there.
So helpless in the whole thing.
Carlette Duffy wanted to refinance her home in this neighborhood just outside of downtown Indianapolis, but two separate appraisals valued the house at the same or less than what she paid in 2017. Frustrated by the process,
so she wanted to refinance her house. So yeah, that makes sense. I've read a little bit about it, but she wants to refinance her house, right? And they paying literally, they trying to give money away right now because they just want motherfuckers in more debt. So she probably like, well, okay, cool. Them motherfuckers looked at her like, ooh, your house, ooh, you paid $350,000. Ooh, well, we can only appraise it at $250, so you can only get about $50,000 of equity out of your house. They do shit like that, man. So yeah, I want y'all to hear this.
Met Amy Nelson with the Fair Housing Center of Central Indiana, who spoke at a community meeting about this New York Times article examining discrimination in home appraisals.
So I decided to do exactly what was done in the article. I took down every photo of my family from my house. I took every piece of ethnic artwork out.
Duffy,
she took, now y'all hear that? She took everything down that resembled blackness. Everything.
Asked a white male friend to sit in for her at a new appraisal. It came back at double the first two, valuing her home more than $100,000.
So she had her white friend sit in the house. She took all the black shit down, removed everything that was black, had her white friend sit in the house for a reappraisal, and they had reappraised it at $100,000 more. But you want to tell me that ain't no anti-black racism and that the system of racism and white supremacy is not real? Get the fuck out of here, man.
I was so angry that I had to go through all of that. Just to be treated fairly, I had to go through all of that. It was pretty staggering.
Nelson and Duffy recently filed 2 housing discrimination complaints, asking the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to investigate the difference in the appraisal.
Kamala and Joe Biden, where y'all at? Where y'all at? Y'all talked all this shit about y'all wanting to help black folk and all this other shit. Where you at? There's so many instances of anti-black racism going on. Oh, my bad. You too busy signing a motherfucking executive order for the Asians. My bad. My bad.
Nelson believes bias played a role and points to the neighborhood comparisons that were used to determine the home's value.
And whether or not those comps were fairly selected is something that is the basis of the complaints that we have filed.
Duffy hopes that her case could serve as a catalyst to ensure the process is fair for everyone, no matter their background.
I'm doing this for my daughter, and I'm doing this for my granddaughter. So that when they come against obstacles, they will know that you can stand up. You can say, this is not right.
In Indianapolis, Jill Glavin, Fox 59 News.
Pretty eye-opening report there, Jill. Thank you. We reached out to the Appraisal Institute, which represents appraisers around the country. In a statement, the group said, in part, when we see even one story of a consumer who feels they were treated differently because of their race, it's very concerning because they say that goes against everything we stand for. Appraisers, they say, take a lot of pride in being an objective source of real estate value information.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Y'all niggas is white-splaining. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all don't give a fuck. Man, stop. If that's the case, then why didn't y'all come on camera and say something? She should have filmed it and then took the county to court. Facts. I'm telling you, man, it's almost like if you don't get it on camera, they don't even believe you. For real. Let me tell you something. I'll say it again. It was a white woman on the housewife woman, Atlanta. This woman, first of all, she was already a thief. And the reason why she was already a thief, because I remember at one of the corporate plantations I worked at, this dude, he had satellite radio, Sirius XM. So we would listen to Sirius XM all the time, and they had Candy Burris on there. And she was on there crying and shit, and I was like, damn, why the fuck is this bitch crying? Because the white woman that was on the show basically did what normal motherfucking dominant society people do in business. Be shiesty motherfuckers. So the lady Candy Burris wrote a song about being tardy or some shit. She didn't write the song, but she did the remix to it and had her production crew come up with the lyrics. She wrote the lyrics, and the song was better than where the fuck the white woman had it at. So she wrote it. This woman was performing the shit, keeping the money, and they didn't even pay the woman. She didn't even pay her money for the shit, right? But this supposed to be your friend or whatever. Now all these years go by, and one of the other women on there, I saw it on my news feed. One of the other women on there basically called the white woman racist. Was like, yeah, you racist. You know, you have all these black people around you and treat them like slaves and all that. You were racist. So the white woman on the show, I gotta remember her name. God damn, Shawnee, you know her name? It's an ugly white woman. This is an ugly bitch too. God, awful. But anyway, she looked like, that bitch looked like Caitlyn Jenner, like Bruce Jenner's twin brother. But anyway, she goes to the person that produces the show, a white Jewish person. Oh, I did all my research. White Jewish person, and basically says, oh, you know, they're always talking this racism. They were talking this before a long time ago. It wasn't even really racist, and now they're bringing it up. I don't believe none of that. And, you know, they just basically, black folk just use racism as a clutch. I mean, as a crutch. You know, we just use it as a crutch and just, oh, it's racism type shit. So she got comfortable when she got around her own and said how she really felt. Now, why would you feel that way, but you hanging around all these black women? That's because a lot of times us as people, we have to really vet out people who we have around us. I'm talking about black, white, Asian, no matter who it is. They can be black and they can be the biggest Sambo you've ever met. You know what I'm saying? So you got to vet these people, because just because they're around you don't mean that they're in alignment with your belief system, especially when it comes to race. And I'll keep saying this. Any other racial group that really wants to change this system of racism, white supremacy, and establish a system of justice, when you suggest books, they'll really go read them. And it doesn't matter if they read them right away, but eventually they'll go read them and be like, well, damn, I read this one book. They should be trying to read them to prove you wrong. That's why I don't suggest just black authors. I'm like, oh, you want to believe that racism don't exist? Go read this book, The Burglary. That was written by a white woman. Go read that. Then you get to hear and heard how she talk about that racist bullshit that J. Edgar Hoover was doing, then you be like, oh damn. Then when I'm like, go read Slavery by Another Name by Douglas Blackman. That's a white man. Go read that. Go read The Untold Story of Jeremiah Hamilton. That's by a white person. Go read that shit. So I don't want to hear that shit, man. And anybody that is really taking stock and inventory on this wickedly brilliant system of racism and white supremacy, they're going to go read the books for themselves, and then they'll come up with their own synopsis on what they believe in or what their belief system should be established as. But stop explaining it to people. Stop going out of your way to tell people that racism really exists and all this. No, stop all that. That doesn't mean anything. But hey, man, I went way over, man. But I wanted to get that out because I want y'all to go back and research Carlette Duffy. Go check that out, man. Just read the article about that shit. Ain't that crazy? She had to take all her black shit down, take everything down, just so she can get more money on her crib. But this is what we deal with. So everybody, man, read, stay in your lane, support black businesses, man. I can't say that enough. blackandnoble.com, I got love for them. I don't shout them out because I want something from them. I don't need nothing for free. I love giving my money to black businesses. I know I have changed because I am way more patient with black businesses than I ever am with a white business. When it's a white business, I'm on the phone. Hey, man, what the fuck you got going on? I didn't pay for this. Services have not been rendered. But when it's a black business, I'm very, very appreciative, and you'll never hear me dog out a black business. Even if their business acumen ain't that great, I'm just not going to dog them out, and I'll keep supporting them. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Shout out to Shawnee. Hey, man, Shawnee, we got to come up with like a book list. Shawnee, Tamisha, 066. y'all tell me what books y'all think people should read as a starter kit, and then let's compile. Let's go with 5 books. Let's go with 5. Now I feel like Black Labor-like Wealth should be at number 1, and y'all come up with some other books, and I can add it to the list, and I'm gonna tell one of my cousins. You know what I'm saying? And we can go from there. But hey, man, I appreciate everybody listening. Shout out, hey, if don't nobody fuck with this channel, cool. I'm not on here for no clout shit anyway. But anyway, man, this is therapy to me. Shout out to everybody that's handling business. Make sure you do whatever studying you can. Read, research, do it on your own. Don't believe what somebody told you. Go research it for yourself. And if you up here talking about race don't matter and I don't see color, guilty nigga, I don't fuck with you, man. I'm out, y'all. Peace.